Most nutrition intervention in developing countries have been designed primarily to reduce malnutrition among children. Programs which include women tend to focus on pregnant and lactating women. This is a limiting approach, since the best way to guarantee the birth of a healthy baby is good nutrition for the woman, even before she becomes pregnant. In fact, the ideal time to focus on nutrition for girls is before they reach reproductive age. Hello and welcome. This is Total Woman on AD4 TV Radio. My name is Mute Olori. On this episode, we navigate a tricky topic: nutrition in women and girls, why it matters. My guest today is quite the seasoned expert. She has an MSc in agriculture and another MSc in nutrition. She has a PhD in food science and over 25 years in development and nutritional fields. She's passionate about the agribusiness that supports nutrition in women and infants, particularly among the vulnerable children. My guest today is Dr. Omo Ohiokweha. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
It's nice having you. Let's talk about the first 1,000 days of life from conception to the child's second birthday represents the most powerful window of opportunity. In addition to the first 1,000 days, evidence is growing that shows adolescence is also a critical time for nutrition intervention. And this is key to fostering healthy life cycle and communities. So let's take it off from there.
When we talk of 1,000 days, it is a time that gives us an opportunity to look after the mother and the unborn child. The way we look at 1,000 days, we call it a period of window of opportunity. And if we take the opportunity, we'll then be able to boost the immunity of the young mother and the development of the child from inception. Why? Because the brain development of the child happens mostly during the 1,000 days. And if we do not harness this period, the child will be, I don't want to use the word, become a zombie, not because of his fault or her fault, but because of our ignorance.
So that means there's a lot of misconception, because what I see is during pregnancy, women focus more of, the child than themselves. That's why you see they're all stressed out, they take food, but I don't think we eat with that knowledge that you just...
That is why I'm saying ignorance is terrible. However, in recent times, we are now in the communities trying to tell our young mothers especially that you must look after yourself before pregnancy and during pregnancy to have a healthy child, one, and secondly, to be healthy yourself.
This is quite expensive.
Very. The opportunity we have now is the fact that all of a sudden, because of COVID-19, we have to boost our immunity as a population. Doing that is now helping us all to do good. The mother needs to eat from the 4 in Nigeria. In Southern Africa is 6 food groups. where you have the staples, the veggies, the oils, the proteins. And it's important that the mother looks within the groups and eat a variety of foods every day. Every day. I would like to speak to the communities. Our farmers know this. They know that they have to eat tuwo. They have to eat eba with plenty of vegetables. For the south, eforiro, ugu in the east, and in the north, we have now found that a lot of moringa is cooked nicely, and we are learning from the rural woman to help with the urban woman that moringa is good for us. Moringa is a complete meal. It contains protein, vitamins, especially minerals, and those amino acids that we need for development. And then, of course, to boost immunity, there are certain things that we must have. Vitamin C every day, 1,000 milligrams, compulsory. Whether there is COVID-19 or not, vitamin C is critical. Then the B complex, B6, B12, which the woman needs as a teenager, as an adult, and as an elderly. We all need B6, B12. Then because of the difficult times, infection, we have to boost our immunity with zinc, selenium, and of course the other vitamin A, vitamin D. D, we can sit in the sun and get it, but our sitting in the sun must end at noon or at 11 a.m. Also, we must look at the type of oils we use, vegetable oils. We should use natural vegetable oils, groundnut oil. We shouldn't use hydroprocessed oil. We should be able to look at fruits that will give us some oil. Avocado will give us oil, groundnut will give us oil. And being in Nigeria, we are blessed with a lot of foods, but we shouldn't talk of nutrition alone. We must talk of processing of it, because if you don't process your vegetables correctly, especially spinach, kale, then you don't get the nutrients we are all talking about.
Okay, before we talk about how we should process our vegetables or food generally to get the nutrient, what kind of food do we get those nutritions you mentioned that are important for the girl child and the women? With our environment, Nigeria or Africa, what kind of foods will we eat to get this balanced diet or nutrition?
When we talk of vitamin C, I'm more inclined to talk of vegetables. However, there is something in the north that we call samia. In English, it's something like acacia. However, very few people know about samia, but then it's made into a beverage. Even just chewing dry samia, you can feel the tanginess of vitamin C in it.
How does it look like?
It's brownish because when you dry any fruit, it goes brown. And it's in the market, cheap. Then when we look at where do we find zinc, eggs, Then we can look at kale. Is the king of vegetables. It's like spinach, but not spinach. Then spinach, you have a lot of vitamin C, A, B, C, you know, in spinach. But the cooking of all the veggies is important.
That's where the processing comes
And
in.
then the fruits, which we are blessed with for vitamin C and the complete range of the vitamins, mangoes, limes, lemons. And also there is something else that we always forget. We should combine our eating. Because to have an active vitamin D, you need vitamin C.
Okay.
To have something that will help for us to digest most of these processes, we should have other food products. So it is important that when we talk of single focus foods, we should also talk of combinations.
So what's the best way to process our meal?
Yes.
Is it better to juice your fruits? Or
One.
eat it?
All of the above.
Okay.
All of the above. To cook our vegetables, it is better with steam. Even if it's at home, the woman may not know what is steaming, but they are doing it already.
Okay.
They cook the stew, and 2 or 3 minutes to the end of cooking, they now add the veg. That is steaming. You don't cook it the whole 1 hour that you had been cooking your stew.
Okay. Are there fruits you shouldn't combine?
Yes. When you talk of fruits, usually we do not combine fruits in Nigeria. We do not. However, we must eat a lot of vitamin. We must eat a lot of oranges for vitamin C. Bags and baskets of oranges every day. Whether you are a teenager, whether you are a woman, or an elderly woman. It is important. And then we should look towards guava. Not just the vitamins and the minerals, but the fiber. Because you must go every day to be healthy. It is very important that you are not constipated. Whatever you eat, you must not be constipated. And unless you take a lot of fiber, you will be. And drink a lot of water. That's why juicing is important. And juicing in Nigeria is not very popular. And when we are now talking of health, I am thinking that we should go out on the streets and explain to everybody that juicing is important. All these things I'm saying, even spinach, even kale, you must juice them to be able to have a lot of the vitamins and the minerals. For them to be good for us, we should juice them and drink them. It's like juicing ewedu and drinking it raw.
Okay. We'll come to that. All right, it's still Total Woman on AD40. I've learned quite a lot. Like juicing ewedu and drinking it. We'll take a short break. I'll be right back. And when we come back, we will be looking at issues surrounding the United Nations General Assembly's declaration of 2016 to 2025 as a year of action for nutrition. Please don't go away.
I am a total woman.
Okay. So, You're welcome back. On the program, we're still talking about nutrition in women and girls, why it matters. In the year 2016, the United Nations General Assembly proclaimed 2016 to 2025 as the United Nations Decade of Action on Nutrition. The decade is an unprecedented opportunity for addressing all forms of malnutrition. How do we bridge that gap?
The gap is so wide, but in Nigeria, a lot of things happened, and it's still happening. It's giving nutrition, the first time ever, a voice. Because usually we put nutrition by the side and we think it's home economics or whatever you call it.
Yes, home economics.
And so, because of the UN year, we were able to bring up several policies, and of course, it's never enough. And as we speak, a lot of things are happening. We now have focused budgets for nutrition, which is a good thing. We also now have opportunities to speak on nutrition, and not just speak on nutrition. When we speak about nutrition, a lot of other fields come in. There is clinical nutrition, food and nutrition, and financing in nutrition. Yes. And we tend to be grateful for the UN period. And a lot of funding now has gone into nutrition. And because there is a budget line, government budget line, it's easier to do work on nutrition because there is funding that is earmarked for nutrition. And if you spend it, we know. You don't spend it, you know. We know, and we will ask, why not? If you need help, then you get help. And therefore, those of us who are very old in nutrition and had suffered so many chastising periods, we tend to be grateful for whoever thought that we should have that period.
Okay, so how do we now begin to get this information to the woman, the girl, child at home? Because we are the ones responsible for the kind of nutrition, kind of food that we eat in the home. With this UN intervention, how do we now get it, down to the grassroots to begin to solve the problems of malnutrition? Because it's a major problem within our system, especially in the communities. Like you said something about, we do it, but without knowledge. So of course we do it, but we don't do it right. That's why malnutrition is still predominant in Nigeria. So how do we begin to get it to them?
Many things are happening. However, more should be at it, and consistently, not just when the program thrust is given and then we pull back, especially
just for launching sake.
Not just launching. The funding ends in 3 years, in 4 years, 5 years, but we want something that will continuously happen 20 years.
Okay.
Because we are not all educated, and our education level is different, and it's difficult to change people. What you've been doing is difficult to change people. However, people are changing because you can see the change. It is food. When you feed and you see your skin smooth and shiny, you know that you've been doing what you are supposed to do. Vitamin C is very important in our lives, whether you're a teenager, a woman, or the elderly. So if we say eat plenty of oranges, it's cheap. You can even, some people have trees at the backyard, and so we tend to see the results, and because we see the results, we believe. With the children, it's even more obvious. The mothers will see the changes in the children. If you eat well, you yourself will feel good. You yourself will feel good, because consistent good eating, you have good vitamin C, D, A, B, C, all the minerals, zinc, selenium in your diet, and we know what to do, the changes will change.
But someone listening to you would say, yeah, it's good what you're saying, but have you considered the level of poverty in us?
Yes, it is true that we have poverty, and things are being done to improve the situation. Improving the situation, a lot of nutritionists are now in the field. They didn't used to be in the field. Not just in Nigeria, because when you are talking of UN year, we talk of the whole of Africa and the whole world. In East and Southern Africa, government has taken it upon themselves to employ nutritionists to go to the rural areas. The same thing here. We have nutritionists in the rural area. However, the changes that we want to see, they are slow. They are slow. Because the results are already showing the level of malnutrition is improving, but it's still bad. Okay? The level of poverty is improving, but it's still bad. But it's no longer in that abyss as it used to be. You get it?
I get it, yeah.
Things are bad, but the degree is different.
There's a higher level of awareness right now.
Higher level of awareness, and people are trying to do what we now say. Before they will just but now they will do exactly what we say, because the whole world is saying we must improve nutrition, we must have immunity, we must take vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams minimum per day per person.
Oh, so you're watching, you're hearing what we're saying. So that would be how many oranges per day?
Plenty of it.
All right, so let's look at some of the consequences of health consequences of poor nutrition.
When we say eat a balanced diet, there is a reason. Okay? So that we can ward off diabetes, so that we can ward off even this my glasses. I would not have been wearing it if I was taking a lot of carrots and the likes, because for the eyes we need a lot of vitamin A, and not in isolation with other minerals and other vitamins. And we look at our heart health also. We must take good good food to improve our heart health. When we talk of heart health, everything weevils around it,
Yes.
and therefore it's important that we look at that. Not just the type of food, not just the type, you understand me, because our culture also come into play.
Okay.
We don't eat a lot of salads in Nigeria. We should promote it. We are promoting it because when the food is raw, is more effective. And we don't stir fry much in Nigeria, but
We'll do
we-
more deep fries.
yes, and because of such things, we tend to waste the nutrients. Okay, we waste the nutrients. Therefore, we have to try very hard to change the way we cook.
So some of these things we illnesses we see, diabetes, they are cause of malnutrition. Okay, lack of eating properly, balanced diet. Not eating, you eat, but your meal has to be balanced. Like you said, it must contain these 4 circles, which is mineral, the vitamin,
Carbohydrates, proteins, veggies, and oils.
These are things we know. Now we'll still go back to poverty. What would you advise should be the best way for us to begin to have these nutrients in our daily meals without having to say, I can't take oranges because I don't have money. I can't take this because I don't have it. What should we begin to do as a people?
As a people, we must, capital MUST, begin to look inwards, support ourselves, and empower ourselves. In everything I do, and I have been doing it for more than 30 years, when I empower the women, I empower them to be able to feed their family, and at the same time, the same food product, they will be able to sell to make money. And from the money they make, they can then take your advice and do whatever you say. If you say don't use sugar, what is the alternative? Honey. Honey is expensive. You understand me? But if they have money and you've taught them how to get honey from the bees in the field, then the family will become a rich family. It doesn't take long to become rich when you are using agriculture, because you live in it, you live with it. Sometimes, like, we always use pap, ogi. I will not give my child ogi because ogi is just carbohydrate, nothing else. The only thing that is saving us from pap is the fact that it is fermented. When I teach women how to make ogi, I will teach them to add beans, how to add the beans, what type of beans to add, which will not be expensive, and they will eat it in the house, everybody, not just for children, everybody, and make money from selling to the neighbors. I don't stop there. I will also teach them how to package this powder. When you start teaching, you need to teach 3 methods of processing, compulsory, to be healthy: fermentation, food combination, and also you have to do extrusion, roasting. All this English, extrusion is all English. It's roasting. And if you have beans, you must roast. Because beans contain some toxic elements that will not allow you to eat it raw. So you roast it. Then fermentation. Fermentation even will help you to store the product for a longer time. Our ogi, we can keep it for 1 year. It's fermentation. Yeah.
And it's so healthy too.
Our gari is fermentation. That's why you have that tinginess when you eat Ijebu gari. So it is very important that we go back. All these methodologies are in the field. The women know about it. So we need to use science to explain to them. Nutrition knowledge will explain to them why they must do what we say. If you just come and speak your English and go, you are not helping the women. You will come, you will explain with nutrition. From nutrition, you will go to storage. From your storage, you will go to processing. And from processing, you will go to packaging. You must package if the woman is to make money.
So everything boils back to, if we must get it right with nutrition in Nigeria, we must empower the woman economically, with knowledge, with skills, and make it known to her the reasons why she has to keep healthy. Dr. Omo, thank you so much for being my guest on the program. I've learned a lot. And I've realized that, look, I need to turn that backyard into
Agric field.
Agric field where I should plant at least the essential vegetables and
Spices.
and things I need to keep healthy. And like we said, if you want the woman to be healthy, you need to empower the woman. I'll be with you again next week when I come with another interesting guest, another interesting topic on Total Woman. My name is Muti Olori, and keep watching AD4 TV Radio. Bye-bye.